We are certainly aware that many of our loyal followers are eagerly awaiting the news of the arrival of the compact-sized and more affordable EVs, based on the prolific 800-volt e-GMP electric vehicle platform, and follow-up to the award-winning electric cars such as the IONIQ 5 and the EV6. The next-generation 800-volt dedicated EVs such as the previously reported Hyundai IONIQ 3 and Kia EV4, true competitors to the likes of the VW ID3, are eagerly being anticipated by people all over the globe, as the current e-GMP electric car offerings from Hyundai and Kia are either too big, as they are nearly as big as mid-size sedans with a length of nearly 4,700 mm or 185 inches, and as expensive as the luxury vehicles at an average price exceeding $50,000. The new line of compact EVs that's expected to have a length of no more than 4,500 mm or 177 inches, and a price in the $30,000 range, while maintaining the state-of-the-art 800-volt charging system, and the drivetrain that nearly matches that of the larger siblings, would seem like what is desperately being demanded by the public in this age of high gas prices. However, due to the current production woes stemming from supply chain issues, as well as the volatility in the electric car battery price due to the Russian Ukrainian conflict, is forcing the Hyundai Motor Group to put the development of some electric vehicle models on the back burner. However, there is some good news as a couple of great alternatives to the IONIQ 5 and Kia EV6 are still coming very soon, and it appears that they could actually outperform the bigger brothers. In this episode, we will discuss what these alternatives would be and how they may affect your EV purchasing decision within the next year or two. Before we go on, we'd highly appreciate your support by subscribing and turning on the notification bell if you haven't already. And please don't forget to like, comment, and vote on the question that's presented at the end of the video. The Hyundai Motor Group is one busy company. In addition to winning just about every new car award available in the world with its new electric vehicles such as the Kia EV6 and the IONIQ 5, the latest report from Korea states that there are now 1 million units backordered, due not only to the popularity, but also because of the chip shortage and the supply chain issues widely impacting the industry. However, the Korean auto giant, which is now the third largest car company in terms of sales behind Toyota and VW, is still relentless in its product development to bring out no less than 31 new battery electric vehicles in the near future, with 11 models from Hyundai, 6 models from Genesis, and 14 models from Kia, to sell over 3 million units annually by the year 2030. Accordingly, Hyundai is busy preparing for the next iterations of the 800-volt e-GMP-based electric vehicles to replicate the success of the IONIQ 5 and Kia EV6, such as the IONIQ 6, the first ever electric sedan that's about to be released within 2022, as well as the Kia EV9, which would be the eventual replacement for the Palisade large SUV, expected in 2024. However, as welcoming as these new products, which would undoubtedly be phenomenal, most people would be more inclined to wait for the more affordable models, as IONIQ 6 and the EV9 are to command prices even higher than the current e-GMP offerings. As priority is given to more expensive and profitable models geared towards the North American market, it's undeniable that more basic models such as IONIQ 3 and EV4 are taking back seats in development. Originally anticipated to be released in 2023, there is currently no significant progress that's being reported to suggest that the compact 800-volt models would be able to meet the schedule. As mentioned earlier, there is a supply chain issue that's hindering the progress. However, the more important reason for the delay may be the overwhelming success of its existing 400-volt models such as the Niro EV and the Kona EV. One of Europe's best-selling electric vehicles since its introduction in 2018, and ranking number 1 in the J.D. Power ownership experience among mass-market battery electric vehicles 2 years in a row, the Kia Niro EV or e-Niro is still rocking. With its larger-than-average 64 kWh battery and powerful for its class 201 horsepower motor, it still remains to be a strong seller, and it's no surprise that Kia decided to maintain most of the drivetrain specifications for the all-new second-generation model that's being released globally as we speak. The new e-Niro keeps the proven formula going and improves it by giving it a longer range, thanks to the increase in the battery size, and then adjusting the power output of the motor, in addition to the stylish new body that's based on the Habanero concept, and the fantastic new interior that's a near copy of the bigger brother EV6. With a longer range, more power, and a starting price of low $40,000, the new Niro EV is now poised to be a good alternative to the base EV6, which costs about the same, for those that prefer the compact size and more practical traditional SUV body shape, opposed to the rakish coupe-like styling of the EV6. Hyundai Kona EV, while sharing the internals with the e-Niro, had always played a second fiddle to the Kia sibling, due to its smaller body and funky style that may not be to everyone's taste. However, that will all change when Hyundai introduces the all-new second-generation Kona next year. And all eyes are on the new model, because Koreans are calling it mutiny in the ranks, as the all-new Kona is expected to overthrow EVs ranking higher in the hierarchy. The new Kona will now feature a bigger body, as big as the new Niro, with a length that's expected to grow by 200mm or 8 inches to 4,400mm or 173 inches, and the width by 25mm or 1 inch to 1,825mm or 72 inches. The new bigger body will feature a completely new design that seems to have been inspired by the European Hyundai Bayon small SUV, which is not too different from the IONIQ 3 predictive rendering that we have previously exposed. And as such, the all-new interior appears to be a near duplicate of the IONIQ 5 as well, judging from the newly leaked spy images, with dual panoramic LCDs, and details such as metallic finishes being used liberally throughout the cabin. This is a similar approach to the Niro EV adopting the bigger EV6's interior, to upgrade the overall packaging to a higher class than before. Also, just like the Niro, Kona is expected to maintain the drivetrain specification as the outgoing model, and use the same systems as the all-new Kia Niro. However, unlike the Niro, Kona will continue to offer a pure internal combustion engine as the base power plant, as well as the hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and the battery electric system. This means that like the e-Niro, the all-new Kona EV will offer more power, and a longer range than the base IONIQ 5, which costs about the same in the low $40,000 range. Furthermore, the all-new Kona EV and e-Niro will offer a V2L bidirectional charging system just like the 800-volt electric vehicles, which would further strengthen their position as a viable alternative to the bigger electric cars. However, for the people eagerly waiting for the IONIQ 3 or the EV4, the new line of compact EVs will still not going to be very convincing, given that they are still 400-volt electric cars that need up to 45 minutes to charge 10 to 80%, versus e-GMP EVs that only require 18 minutes. Also, the new Kona EV or e-Niro being derivative electric vehicles, and not dedicated, would also be another reason to not accept them as legitimate alternatives to the dedicated electric vehicles such as the IONIQ 5 and the EV6. However, the all-new Kona and Niro move to the latest third-generation platform, that's known to be just as good as the e-GMP dedicated EV platform. Known as the N3, it's a versatile platform that could be adapted to the different drivetrains, everything from ICE, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, battery electric, and even hydrogen fuel cell electric. And when it's used to build an electric vehicle, structurally, it's no different than the e-GMP platform, as it's perfectly capable of accepting a skateboard-like BEV underpinning without any clutter, or unnecessary remnants from ICE applications, as is the case typically for most of the derivative EVs. A case in point is Genesis's electrified GV70, which uses the same N3 platform but accepts identical skateboard-type underpinning, with the same battery and motors used in the e-GMP-based GV60. Also, it has no driveshaft hump, and has a perfectly flat floor just like a dedicated electric vehicle. Most derivative electric vehicles would still show many telltale signs of their ICE origin, but the N3-based EVs do not, and exhibit the same attributes as the e-GMP-based electric vehicles. This is why the N3 platform-based, all-new Kona EV is being rumored to be the precursor to the IONIQ 3, that's expected to feature the 800-volt charging system with a skateboard-type battery and the ability to accept dual motors. With such a thin line separating the N3 EV platform and the e-GMP dedicated EV platform, it perhaps does not matter which platform it's built on after all, as long as the development time and cost can be reduced, so that the company is able to transfer the savings to the end users. The cost factor will be very important, as getting the prices down for these next-generation 800-volt compact EVs is critical for their success, as currently there isn't a lot of difference between the 400-volt compact models and the larger 800-volt models. To accomplish this, Hyundai will be utilizing the LFP batteries, instead of the NMC batteries that are currently being used even in the compact models, which could take up to 50% of the price of an EV. And it's not a coincidence that Hyundai's major battery suppliers such as LG and SK are currently busy at work getting their LFP battery production ready, and building a new LFP dedicated factory in the US, suggests that Hyundai is serious about bringing the prices down for their upcoming basic EVs not only for Europe but also North America. The first of these LFP batteries will roll out towards the end of next year, and the new compact 800-volt EVs will likely be introduced after this time in 2024. The expected starting price is $35,000, which would substantially undercut the prices of the existing NMC battery-powered EVs, 800-volt or not. The range will be compromised a bit due to its lower energy density, but the sources say that Koreans are hard at work closing the gap using advanced technology, such as cell-to-pack and even cell-to-chassis. As for the power electric system, it's likely to use the same motors as the standard range IONIQ 5, which is rated from 168 horsepower for single motor RWD, to 232 horsepower for dual motor AWD. The range is expected to be around 230 miles. As for the end of the video question, aside from the charging speed, the all-new Kona and Niro EV are expected to be just as competent as the larger 800-volt EVs such as the IONIQ 5 and the EV6, but would you still wait for the 800-volt compact EVs like the IONIQ 3 and the EV4, even if you have to compromise on the range? Please vote and share your views by clicking on the link in the comment section below or in the description. Thanks for watching AutoVision, your best source for the fastest Korean car news and rumors. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe and click on the notification bell, so as not to miss any of our new videos. It would help the channel greatly if you could view our videos as soon as they are uploaded, and watch them all the way until the end, which would help to reach more people. Also, to support our channel even further, please join our membership and enjoy the exclusive content and preview of the upcoming episodes. Finally, don't forget to join our forum and share your passion for Korean cars at KoreanCarNews.com. See you next time with the latest Korean car news.
Up, baby, all the stars are shining bright. Yeah, we should stay up so that we can look at them all night. Just keep holding me, don't let me